up, guys and girls? Hurricane Liz here. In this week's dropshipping income report, I just want to say this much: this might be the last one. And the main reason for that is just the fact that all this coronavirus commotion and everything has kind of significantly decreased the actual amount of my sales. So it's not as exciting anymore. What we are about to see right now are pretty close to the real actual sales that I'll be making all year, and it's going to be fairly consistent. And the second reason for this is because I've decided to take a different direction in some of the actual businesses that I'm doing, and drop shipping on Amazon is no longer an attractive model for myself. And as I've been telling many of you out there, just don't do it. However, you don't listen. So I have largely been redirecting many of my different businesses, and for one, I am heavily going into Walmart dropshipping, which I will be focusing on a little bit if there is some interest, and a couple other businesses that I have and some tricks that I have up my sleeves, so I will also be focusing on those, which I've never talked about before on this channel. However, without further ado, let's get into my very last income report for dropshipping coronavirus, and then we'll decide what to go and where to take it from there. So let's go ahead and jump into my screen share. All right, so first things first, let's talk about my dropshipping stores, and let's talk about why I'm considering not talking about them anymore. And the biggest reason behind that is because there are a bunch of newbies out there that get excited when they see the numbers, and then they decide to jump in there and they straight away get banned or suspended from Amazon. And like I say in these videos, I do not recommend these stores for brand new people. Understand that the accounts that I'm showing you here are not only number one aged, but they've been running for quite some time. And to be honest with you, I've been doing drop shipping now for about a year and a half. I started this back in June of last year officially, and then I had a lot of other incidents right before that that took me really about 6 months to master it. And I also got blocked and suspended on one account. And so these accounts here are ones that I bought and that they were old and aged, and that's why they've had such super results in comparison to not only a lot of my friends, but also a lot of people that have actually put a comment below and that have been banned or suspended. The reason they are long-standing is because they are very old and aged. In fact, one of them has made millions and millions of dollars in private label and FBA, and the second one I bought off of somebody that also made a ton of money on. So they are old, they are aged, and that's why they kick ass, right? And so for somebody new to come into the space and start from scratch, it's just not going to happen in the current landscape in Amazon. With that being said, I do advise that if you really want to do drop shipping, I try and get a Walmart account and drop ship from Amazon. So it's reverse. And so that's basically one of the business models that I am testing right now, as well as a couple others, to kind of take up and make me some of that actual drop shipping money. Because hey, I don't think drop shipping is here forever. If it is, you're going to have to move from site to site, just how I'm moving with Walmart. So without further ado though, let's talk about these actual Amazon profits right now, because the reality is it does bring me in about 10% of the actual numbers that you see here, which is a significant amount. So I am definitely looking to replace that income with another form of business. I just haven't decided what. But now let's talk about the gains that we had this week and the big winners. And as you can see, toilet paper, paper towels are back in action, and as a result, I've sold a ton of them. I lost track of how much, I'm guessing in the hundreds and hundreds, and making a pretty good chunk of change on the actual paper towels. However, on the toilet paper, I think it's like a whole $1 after cash back. It's in credit card points. It's something ridiculously small, but I haven't sold as much of the toilet paper as I have this gem, which is just recycled paper towels. Now, one thing that I have been selling the crap out of is this actual gun security cabinet. And again, when I actually show you the things I sell, what I really want you to think about is why these things are selling right now in the current environment. And always when sourcing a product, you want to think about this. How is this selling right now in the current environment? And do I foresee anything that could potentially help this sell more in the future or less? So I'm always going to make commentary as to why this is selling and what's going to happen in the future with this market, just in case you're either thinking of number one, drop shipping this somehow, number two, creating a wholesale relationship with the supplier and selling their actual gun safe, or number three, private labeling a gun safe of your own that you manufacture in China and then ship on over. And again, the gun market is always going to be around. And I will tell you why, because there's only a couple things that I know that don't lose their value, and guns are one of them. So people are always going to want to protect their investment as well as protect their home. And in times of chaos like we're experiencing right now, people are always going to want to buy guns. In fact, the state of Texas considered a gun store an essential store that needed to stay open throughout the entire coronavirus. Yes, everything's bigger and crazier in Texas, and I can say that much because I am a Texan. Now, let's talk about this actual product, which I talked about before, and I talked about the opportunity to actually private label a product like this. Now, I'm not talking about the sewing machines, even though they did overtake toilet paper momentarily for the top keyword on Amazon at one point during this whole epidemic. However, I am talking about the actual accessories. This is a universal fit sewing machine carrying case, and they're selling red hot because I'm selling them on both Amazon and Walmart. So there you have it, a fantastic product that's going to stand the test of time, because guess what? After people are tired of freaking sewing, they're going to need some kind of case to pack that sewing machine in so that it can sit there and collect dust. Ladies, you know I'm talking about you. Now, here is another product that right now is trending, and that's primarily because people are finally going outside. They're enjoying the sunshine and they need a place to sit down because they don't want to touch who knows what the hell's been on that freaking rock down there. So instead, I'm going to just pull out my chair, throw it on here on the lawn, and I'm going to have a social distancing lawn party. I've seen it. I've seen it out here in downtown Brickell, which is in Miami, and I've seen people just throw out their lawn chair and just sit there and enjoy the ocean. And it particularly is going to pick up now that the beaches are coming back open. Now, I'm not exactly sure why I opened this one up, but I just wanted to point out that for some reason I've been selling the heck out of them and they are completely out of stock. Now, here's something interesting that I think that it kind of really isn't directly related to food, but I just wanted to point out a couple things that I'd seen. Number one is this no yolks pasta, which I guess if it has no yolk, it's considered a little healthier. So I foresee that you're going to see a huge pickup in the actual diet niche and again the fitness niche, because a lot of people are going to have to let loose some of that weight that they put on after they've been sitting on their actual couch binge watching whatever the hell they watch on Netflix and eating Cheetos. I'm not talking about myself in that particular case, but I probably do have to drop a few after coronavirus. All right, and so the next one is this immunity supplement. And while I've talked about immunity supplements in the past, I have not talked about them specifically for children. And again, children are going to be the first that are really exposed to actually going to have to go back out there into crowds, whether it be at summer camps, if they even have them, or eventually at school. So you're going to need to build up your child's immunity. And as a result, people are going to pay big money for supplements that say that they're going to help. So that's a niche where if you're looking to private label, it could probably be a pretty good one. And now let's talk about store number 2 and talk about the overall profit on both of them. This is going to be the profit on the store that we just saw, which is going to be right here. And you will notice that that store is doing not as much, right? Significantly fell in profits in total, in revenue and everything. And that is because people are finally settling back down. So we're not going to see any more crazy sales. These sales that you see right here is probably what this store will sustain the entire year. Now let's talk about store number 2, which is a lot less profit, but it's a lot higher revenue. This particular store will also see these numbers. And in fact, on this store, it's pretty much regularly cranking out about $3,500 to $4,500 a day. And the other one, like you saw, is at around about $1,000 in revenue a day. But on this particular store, I saw a lot of interesting things. Most importantly, again, going back to the fact that people will have to lose weight because we sat on our fat asses all through coronavirus. Here is nothing better than pasta, but it's healthy pasta, folks, because this is protein pasta and that counts as a diet food. So people are going to eat anything that the marketers tell them is good for them, including things like this skinny gold dressing, which incidentally, it's for skinny girls. So it's fat free. It's got to be good dressing. It has some pretty good actual macronutrients on there. So it's definitely a fantastic thing if you're on a diet, and you will need to be if, again, you ate all that food during coronavirus. Now, once again, here is a black personal cooler. And as I said before, people are going to start going out. They're going to start going to the beach. So they're going to want to take their own shit. They're not going to trust any kind of shit that they order from out there. So they're going to want to make sure that it's sanitized and it's in their own personal little cube. What better to do that with than with an igloo? And as we saw throughout the entire coronavirus, this Epsom salt kicked ass. And now, while I've never looked at the actual stats of Epsom salt on Amazon, I'd imagine that it's extremely competitive, and I would probably stay away with it with a 10-foot pole. But what does this tell me? This tells me that people are willing to spend a lot of money on activities that help them lower their anxiety because, hey, let's face it, a lot of those people were actually laid off for already about 2 months, and it's going to take them about another month or so to be able to recuperate and get back out there, and possibly even another couple months till the economy starts to at least do a little better. And I won't say that I told you so in 6 to 9 months, but I think I already told you so. I told you all that a huge amount of corona babies would be born as a result of this. And I think that as a result, you're going to see a lot of products in the baby niche just literally take off. And so if I am looking to private label and I know anything about babies other than making them, I am clearly going to go into this niche and create products in order to help those babies and those new moms. So again, think about products that you can actually create for this, no matter what niche you're in. Be expecting to see a freaking increase in the number of babies out there. You can bank on that. And then here we are coming into the summer months. So I've been selling the crap out of sunscreen already. As people get out there and get exposed to the sun, they're obviously going to want to protect their skin. So again, toys are a hot niche, especially when you got your kids trapped and you're sick and tired of those little rascals running around in circles and bothering the shit out of you. So you're obviously going to want to occupy them as much as possible. And this particular actual huge toy from KidCraft is going to do the trick. So anything that you can do to get to help somebody occupy their kids for longer than a freaking hour is a huge win, and will continue to be a win, especially coming into Christmas. Now, it is going to be interesting to see how the actual ports clear up for Christmas. I expect that it's going to be a huge delay, and there's going to be a lot of people that don't make as much money this year as they used to. And that could be me included, because my primary niche is toys, and pretty much almost all my inventory comes in during Christmas, and I really have no idea how Amazon is going to react, and at least I'm planning that they're not going to react well, and we'll just see. All right, and as usual, this table has been kicking ass because, I mean, people are getting together and doing things, social distancing at their house with their family, and that's really the key. They need somewhere to sit down. That way all the kids can sit together and all the parents can sit together and keep those little nice rascals together. And it brings me to the last and final actual product, which I've talked about numerous times. In fact, I've even made an entire video about it, and that is the actual board game, which is one of the tools that help parents keep those little rascals occupied. Now, this here toy or this here game can easily be created by anybody with a very creative imagination, and or a game that they maybe even play at home with rocks and scissors and shit like that. You can pretty much make this up in your head as long as you're creative, as long as you're original, and as long as you know how to market on Amazon, which is my job and why I actually do this channel. So every strategy that I use in my FBA business would be available to use on a product like this, and or a no content or low content book like I talk about in Kindle publishing. So if you're not already doing a board game, it could be the lowest actual entry fee to get into Amazon, because a lot of these you can literally make at your house. I've seen people do it in the past, and I've seen them take off. And you could also do a Kickstarter or something like that, and if people like it enough, you could get your very own board game funded and then put on Amazon. And I've seen it. I've been to Toy Fair, which is the largest toy fair in the world, and I've seen people that literally did this and their game took off on Amazon, and now they have a #1 game on Amazon, and it's completely changed their lives. So if you have a vision and you have a dream, then don't stop. Get out there and start sourcing on Amazon, and hopefully some of these ideas help you along the way. That way you can get your very first big winner on Amazon. I guarantee it will change your life. Amazon is something that you should certainly stick to from now and until the end of its existence. Until we find something better, I will be coming back to you with these videos. And again, if you like the channel, please subscribe. Other than that, ask your questions and comments below. I always personally answer them, and I will see you all on the next video.